Hi, I'm Chef RC, and I'm on Mom 80s cooking for you. Well, we're going to start chopping onions this morning. We're making French onion soup. So, we're going to chop some onions and maybe chop some more onions. We're going to get lots of onion chopping done today. Now, I'm still chopping onions. You need to get lots of French onion soup. You cook onions down, they shrink a lot. And it's the only thing in the soup, so better have a lot of it. Well, yeah, let's go down the onions now. I've gotten close to, had about 18 pounds of onions before I started peeling and cutting them up. And this is what we have left. 18 pounds of onions, peeled, sliced up. Now we're going to take a pot on really high heat, add some vegetable oil, and our onions. You'll put all the onions in there. There we go. That's a full pot of onions. Now we're going to start a caramelizing process. We don't want them to burn, but we want them to lightly burn to the bottom of the pot. I know it sounds weird, but caramelizing is, you want to just darken or make really, really black the sweet and the sugarness from the onions. Okay, now I've been constantly, every minute or two, stirring and scratching the onions off the bottom. They're starting to cook and brown now. Got to keep doing this until our onions are quite a dark brown and be caramelizing. And they're burning, but not burning to the bottom of the pot. So I stir like that. I'll let it sit for a bit. And about every 3 or 4 minutes, I'm constantly stirring these onions, scratching the bottom, making sure that they don't stick too much. Well, give the pot, I can't emphasize more, on high heat, these onions fried in here. If you don't keep stirring them, they're going to burn on you. We don't want them to really burn. We want them to caramelize. We want them to sort of stick and burn to the bottom, but we're going to stop them. It's getting really hot. My onions are getting cooked down, and it's starting to caramelize nice for me. We should be able to add liquid in another 15, 20 minutes maybe half an hour of caramelizing. But we're going to stir lots and keep stirring it. Okay, now I'm scratching the bottom hard, and I'm starting to color. It's starting to stick to my bottom. I'm getting a little spot of sort of burnt there, but caramelizing. I want to keep it off. Got to really stay on top of this about now on the high heat. Make sure that your onions don't burn completely to the bottom, but you're getting this nice browning color happening throughout the mix. If we notice, my full pot of onions has gone down to almost a quarter of what there was. There was way more onions in here when we started. But now they've cooked down. They probably won't get much lower. We just gotta keep moving them, keep them working so that They don't burn too hard, but brown a bit on the bottom. When we get enough color, we'll be adding some liquid to it. We gotta get a little more color on the onions yet. Get them to caramelize still, some more. Well, caramelizing is just about done here. You see, my onions are medium brown. They're a nice color. Burning good. Add some water heating here. I'm going to add it. And a little more. Okay, so put a bit of water in there. Let it stir. Make sure you have that good flavoring off the bottom, the caramelizing. Now, I use a Lipton, it's a French dip au jus powder. I use 2 big handfuls of that in there. Stir that in. Now, liquid, I'm going to take some port. We're going to put, I guess, about a cup in. If you like port, you can put a little more in. If you don't like it, put about a cup in. It's got to have some. Ooh, really taste the alcohol in there, but that's okay. It's gonna boil off. We need a little extra of this French au jus powder. Make it just a little stronger on the beef flavor. Then we'll have another taste and see how good it's getting. We're gonna let it cook. It's gotta boil a bit to get the alcohol and the port out of the soup. So we'll be back as soon as that's done. Okay, I made a piece of just plain toast. I'm going to take my French onion soup bowl and put it on top of it, and I'm going to press it down. That's going to make me a ring here. I got my ring on a bread here. I got some Mozzarella cheese and I got my Swiss cheese. I take our soup. Delicious French onion soup. Set a piece of bread in place. Cover it with lots of Swiss and just a little bit of Mott's on top of it. Now we got the cheese, the Mott's bread on top of the French onion soup. We're going to put it in the convection oven. We're going to brown it on the top. That should take about 3 minutes on broil, and then we'll be done. Delicious French onion soup to eat. Mulvaney's famous French onion soup. Well, now it's time to bring out our French onion soup. It's been deliciously baked in the oven. Now we can see how the Mott's are browned nice, and the Swiss just melted. If it wasn't for the Mott's on top, it would just be white. You wouldn't get any coloring. We can see the soup just bubbling underneath there. There we go. Mulvaney's French onion soup, fresh out of the oven.